You are now tuned into Two Studs in a Pod with the dynamic duo of Blaze and Meech, a podcast giving you a candid glimpse into the world of super terrific Uber dykes, but you can call us studs. This week we're taking a look at relationships from one that's still on the vine to another that's aging like wine. Let's get into it. Meech, drop the beat. Welcome back to Two Studs in a Pod. You already know it's me, Blaze.
And the homie Meech.
This week, it gets real as we chatted up about relationships with our favorite fans, Nikki and Edie. But before we get into it, Meech, what's good, homie?
Oh, nothing much. Working from home this week, so it's always a beautiful thing. Just I can, multitask when I'm home, get my workouts in on my lunch break,
Oh,
and
yeah.
not have to worry about, hopping in the shower right away.
Yeah.
But so I've been working out, progressing with that. Happy with my progress. I finally found like some workout bars that I could order because I didn't have weights.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's
So
been hard
I
to
got
find
like
anything like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
the bars, so I've been using those to do curls and to do arms and squats and stuff like that. So trying to get back on my
All right, trying to get
grind.
swole. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real. I'm like, yo, I miss my muscles. I know there's no sweet heat or nothing going on this year, but
Yeah,
at least
right.
I'll be right for next year.
I know. That's
Yep,
I've been working on my pool body, working on the pool. So there I go with
facts.
that. Yeah. So I haven't seen the inside of my home gym in a minute, because of this digging this hole, but it's done. You know what I'm saying? And the pool is getting filled as we speak.
That's what's up.
So after some minor delays, um, but yeah. So and back to work. So that's good. You know what I'm saying? That little
Yeah,
time off was it was useful in the time because it just worked out. You know what I'm saying? The universe has this way of just making things work in
yeah.
in interesting ways. Be careful what you put out there, boy. That's all I'm gonna say because you throw some things out there and yeah, because I was like, dang, when am I gonna find the time to dig this hole? And then boom, the universe was like, there you
Yeah,
go.
like there you go.
Yeah. So
Damn.
I'm like, damn, but it is what it is, and now I'm back to rocking. So definitely grateful for that and blessed to be back in that situation, and
Word.
everything else is good. You know what I'm saying? Still working on things around the house. Still have to fill in the giant hole. So yeah,
So you still
that's
got more workouts coming up.
yeah, and
Yeah.
hopefully not as intensive, right? And then I'm like feeling like mad handy now. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like doing mad shit. So I'm definitely considering building that deck. Like it's getting closer and closer
Okay.
to I'm gonna do it. I think I've watched so many YouTube videos that
Now you feel
I've,
confident. Don't
yes.
let YouTube fool you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, what's the home improvement channel, HGTV?
At
I
least,
feel
yeah,
like that's gonna be me in a minute. Now I'm gonna have my own HGTV show.
for real.
So
You better be
yeah, man.
recording out there.
Yeah. The only thing is it's hot as hell. So that's a that's what's gonna slow me down. All right. Now that we're all caught up, let's give a shout out to our Pod All the Time Network fam. And let's get into the first segment this week. Green Peas. Green Peas is the portion of our show where we like to share new trends, podcasts, books, shows, or whatever other new and amusing things we found to keep us entertained. Meech, what's on your list of must reads this week?
This week I am listening to an audiobook. It's Kevin Hart's audiobook. I think it's called The Decision.
Okay.
And his books, I like to listen to the audio because it sounds like I'm listening to like a comedy special.
Right, right.
But yeah, he's just basically talking about like making making the choice to be better. Like don't make excuses. Just it's kind of like a self-help book, but from Kevin Hart's perspective, everything that he did to make it to where he was, and he recognized all his mistakes and he owned up to them, and he realized what he was and wasn't doing. So it's just about owning your shit. You know what I mean? So I'm like halfway through it. It's pretty good and it's funny. So I've listened to other books and I've read other books like about meditation and taking care of yourself. And this is by far the most entertaining one because it's Kevin Hart.
Right.
So I recommend, if you're gonna listen or if you're gonna read it, you should probably listen to it. Other than that, I'm still reading. I don't know if I had mentioned it. This book called Limitless. It's
I
about, like,
think so. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
expanding your brain power, just kind of teaching you how to learn better.
Hmm.
So it's actually been working. I've been using some of the techniques that I found in the book. Because I had so much going on. I'm still studying for the exam, so that has been taking up a lot of my time. But I do need downtime, so I choose to read, and that's about it. What you been getting into?
Just really like trying to find new projects around the house, like getting into things, figure out different things I'm gonna do. Like I might even buy a saw, like a real saw. You know what I'm saying? Not like the little like cartoon saw how I have right now, but so that's pretty much what I've been getting into is watching a lot of that. I haven't really been watching too much on TV. I finally watched Hunters, which
Right.
that had a gay character in it, of course. Uh, that was that was all right, and I don't really think I've really gotten into anything um too much watching wise other than doing stuff around the house. Like that's just got me so tired at this point that I'm like ready to go to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Uh
exhausting.
Wifey had me watching something with some vampires. Yeah. I don't know what it was. I don't remember what the name of it was, but yeah, she was watching that for a little while. So that's just what was on in the background. You know what I'm saying? While I'm imagining building my projects in my
While
in
you
my head.
daydreaming,
So
yeah.
yeah, unfortunately, I don't have too much to offer by way of green peas this week. I suck.
Yeah.
uh,
It's all right. They can listen to a book or read a book.
yeah, go read a
Take a
book,
break
right?
from the TV.
Yeah, for real. For real.
Yeah.
I probably need to take a break from the tablet watching these YouTube videos.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I got plenty of those YouTube videos that are worth worth watching
Oh,
right
you
now.
know what? I did catch up on finally Les is More,
Oh
because
yeah.
I think there were 2 episodes that I was behind on, so I did catch up on those during work because it was slow.
Yeah.
But my bosses don't listen, so I can say that shit. Yeah, I caught up on that, and then there was another series that came up that takes place in DMV, like DC, Maryland, Virginia area,
Uh-huh.
and I watched like an episode and a half of that. There were a lot of characters in that one. I can't remember the name of it though. I have to, when I catch up some more, I'll let you guys in on that.
Well, alrighty then. That's gonna do it for green peas this week. Now let's get into stewed peas. Stewed peas is the part of our show where we get into the topic of the week. This week we have our significant others alongside as we get into a real conversation we had after many, many drinks about relationships, both new and old. So kick back and let's go. So, how's quarantine been for y'all? Stress on the
Shitty.
relationship? Because y'all are in a different dynamic than us because they're quarantined apart. We're quarantined together. So they said relationships are having a hard time right now.
Yeah, a couple of my coworkers, one of my coworkers, she just straight up moved herself into her lake house.
Oh
Oh,
damn.
nice. Yeah.
Okay.
I know, right? Her and her daughter moved into their lake house, and her husband and the son are still at the regular. She's just sad that the Marta doesn't come and help clean up.
Fancy ass Martha and shit.
She's like, I don't do housework, so yes, that's what she misses. But yeah, I hear it from my coworkers a lot. Like they're having hard times. Like I'm hearing people just like straight up yell at their kids on conference calls. And I don't mean to laugh, but it's a good time for me. But you can tell like they have had it.
I mean, I guess for me, I still work, so I'm not home all day with them.
Mm-hmm.
If I was, I would be yelling all day long.
Well, because it's like for us, like right for my job, we're all still working, and a lot of us were already remote to begin with, or worked
Mm-hmm.
remote about 50% of the time. But the difference is now they're having to work from home, homeschool their kids, and deal with the spouse all at the same time. And that I think is sending people like over
bonkers.
the edge. Yeah, because like I was telling B about this morning, like when we got on our first work call and our stand up meeting, and I was like, "So how are you doing?" And she was like, "Listen, ooh." Like you can hear it in her voice, and she's just like, "We're all still together, yay!"
I mean, I said it before though, but it's a fact that like the divorce rate right now is going up because people aren't used to being together, and they're like with each other all the time, and that's when you start realizing like I really don't like this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
But I also think that some people never really carved out their own space in their relationship.
Yeah.
So, and I think because they never carved out their own space and made that time for themselves, now everybody's just on top of each other. So, like, what do you do? And I'm like, ooh, I'm sorry. And I don't mean like when we're on our calls or whatever, I giggle. I don't mean to, but it's just like the joy. It's just like, it is like World War III in some people's homes. And some people have managed, um, and some people are having to do things in shifts. Like one kid does homeschooling for an hour or two, and then the next kid, instead of trying to have everybody, staggered sleeping shifts,
Mm.
it's just like it took a lot of work for people to figure out. Some people were able to find
A
their
rhythm,
groove, their
yeah.
rhythm a lot easier than some people. They were fighting the whole process the whole time. So
I,
I'm like, oh.
yeah, I think for us it's easier because like me and Jeff, we're in a place where we're still trying to find ourselves again. So like the space is good
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
she has the time to like reflect, get her plans together, and make her plan for the future. And I'm in that same boat too. We have our past and we're still healing. So I think it's good for us right now that we're not technically living together and
Or like on top of each other all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. So
Not to say it's a bad thing, but like that's something that would just naturally happen because your relationship is so new. If
right,
there wasn't a quarantine, you guys would always be together just because it
right,
feels like you should always be together because y'all are in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I
right.
think to be at that point in time, because when you first get into a relationship, you are always together. Like you're always together all the time. It's rare
Yeah.
that
I
you're,
mean,
I think
ours
it
is different.
feels like you're always together, but I think we took our own space because you had your own space. I had my own space. We
Mhm.
had space. We spent a lot of time together, but we had our own space. So it wasn't like that. It really wasn't.
It's still a learning process though. Like it's me jumping when she knows I can't talk to the kids and tell them like you need to get your shit together and do your schoolwork. Like
Right, right.
she'll help me and she'll jump in. But yeah, I mean yeah, exactly. It's I think it's good right now that we have that little degree of separation.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not being U-Haul lesbians.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
y'all
right.
been together for like 5 minutes and now y'all already moving in. You don't have that option right now.
Right.
So it's forcing you to really evaluate if you want to be with this person because y'all are choosing to spend time instead of having to spend time.
Right.
And I think that that's a good thing, for a new relationship. I think that's what helped us because we chose to spend time together. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
have to spend time.
Mm-hmm. And then even though we're together and we've been together, we still have space,
Right.
like literal space.
Yeah, we talk about that. We talk about that too. The space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For me, that's always been something super important. Period, because I need my own time to
Be your own person.
even just reset and get my thoughts together. Like I need a moment. Even being a single mom, and I told my kids, like, listen, don't come at me as soon as I walk in the door.
Right.
I need a moment. Let's relax, relate, release before all of that starts. That's why I'm like, that's really important to take that time for yourself.
Yeah, I'm like that. My kids know that once I come home, it's not tell me about your day or whatever, whatever. Give me 30 minutes or an hour, depending on what I need. Let me recollect. Let me unwind. Let me de-stress, and then it's
Let
okay.
me drink a
What do
bottle
you
of
need?
wine.
Except for because from the time I get off, we're on the phone, but it's different. It's definitely an adjustment. But I think with her, it's better. There's an understanding. There's definitely a good understanding of the kind of space that we need. And we talk about moving in, moving, and things like that. But I always take into consideration like we need our space. We for sure need our space. She needs her time to do her own thing. She needs her room, her separate apartment, like she says.
I'm trying to have a separate apartment, but
You
what's
know
your
what? That's
plan?
my dream. Like, if we could have two
You
homes,
see?
like if we could have two separate homes with like a bridge in between.
You, she can have her room.
She says that, but she will be over in my shit all the
Exactly.
motherfucking time anyway.
But just to
Okay.
have that
Right.
option to
Amen.
kind of just like go in my space, like even now, like here in the house, we needed that extra. I think that extra square footage. You know what I mean? Because my condo in the city was small.
Plus, it was your condo, and I felt like I was in your shit.
Yeah, it wasn't ours.
Right.
Yeah, so it had that element of
Being yours, and I could have to get booted any goddamn time because that's happened to me before. So now I live with that in the back of my mind.
That's you bringing your old bag.
Yeah, but that's stuff that's happened to me. So you can call it what you want to, but
calm down. But that's why I'm like in the real element. That's you bringing your prior baggage into the current situation and having a fear that you just kind of need to work through and address yourself. Because you didn't have that fear. That was, I mean, not in reality. In your the way you thought about it, I can understand how you can see that because you have been through that before. Like I've never been in a situation where somebody was like, "Get out," because I've always had my own. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like,
but I mean, at the same time, like usually it's the stud. Like for everything that I've known, it's been the stud moving in with the femme because a lot of times a femme girl will have kids, so it's not like you're gonna have them moving in with you. You moving in with them, so now you're at their mercy. What'd you say?
No, I said to your little 1 bedroom or studio or whatever you work
Right.
in, like
Right.
it's only you.
Right, exactly.
And so that's why I'm like, for me, I never lived with people unless I was married, and I've only been married once. So other than that, I've never lived with anybody. In a college dorm room, if you want to call that living with somebody. But I've never lived with anybody else. So that's why I'm like, I didn't have. Damn, I hit myself mad hard.
You feeling that?
I did. I was like, damn, all of it my chest. No, so I couldn't relate to that because like I've seen the U-Haul lesbians, like I've seen so much of it, and I just sit back and I'm like, well, why would you do that?
It's just a thing though. Like there's a stereotype for a reason.
But you don't know if it's going to.
It depends on the relationship because, like, I was married before and I have an ex-husband too. And, with dealing with my ex, she chose to move in with me and my kids. I mean,
I'm sorry.
She knows the story because she chose to move in, and then when things were getting crazy, like, I would tell her, like, we need the space, but she would never leave. And then when she decided that she finally wanted to leave, I said okay. So when she left, she decided to like break the whole family situation and break the relationship up. And I tried for the life of me. I tried to make sure, like, are you okay with this decision? Like, are you okay with breaking the family up? And she told me okay. And at the end of the day, that she wasn't. And as much as I tried to slow things down, that it it wasn't her mindset. She wanted to move in, get married, have the place, have this, have that, and it was too much. It was just way too much, and I don't know.
Unpopular opinion. I think women are. I know, especially the women that I've been around. They're highly emotional and ride off of emotion and not necessarily logic. And I'm always the asshole because I'm excessively logical.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
me
My
too.
friend.
And I'm just like, listen, and I get called all of the names in the world. And I'm like, I'm okay with that because I'm just like, I know who I am and I know what I want. And that ain't it. So that's why I'm like, mm-mm. Even Meech, when I can't even remember, but I'm always very vocal and I always say what's on my mind.
Yes, we know.
Even with my situations.
Anything, I don't know. I think as I get
Oh my
older,
god, I can't tell you how many times your situations I had to be like, baby, break it down. Break it down.
But that's how we became friends because we were playing a drinking game at Tracy's.
See, this is your
And
thing.
yeah, we were playing like kings or queens or whatever the fuck the game is.
that's what I'm like. I don't
And
remember these names. Just be alcohol involved.
um I don't know, a question came up because the chick that I was talking to left her son with me, and I didn't know her like that, and I didn't know her son, and I think that's when you started like going in on me. And I was like, I don't fucking know you, but at the same time I respected that.
So that's what I'm like. Okay, so I wasn't going in on her. I was just letting her know, because I can see it. Me as a single mom, these chicks come up and they, the toys, and I'm here for this and I'm here for that. And I'm like, you know what? I do need a break. Go enjoy that. But I know what it is. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna be my glorified. You want to act like my glorified babysitter?
That's
Okay, baby.
exactly what she
You
called me.
my glorified
Not the
babysitter.
girl, but that's exactly what Nikki called me.
Yes,
But
because
okay, so
that's
I understood, and eventually we became friends because I respected her honesty. But at the same time, like I had never met her before in my life. Like you don't even know the situation.
Like
Like
you
how you
just
coming
reading
for
me
me?
like this,
Like you
right?
don't even really know my name yet.
Right.
but
But
you.
see,
I
I
can see
appreciate
game.
people like that. I appreciate the honesty, no matter how brutal, no matter like
Hmm.
like damn, that's fucked up, but okay. Like, I appreciate people like that. Those are the people that I want in my corner because they can call me on my
Facts.
bullshit. Like, yo, you acting stupid. Like, you wilding right now. Like, I need
There's
people
so
like
much shit
that.
that we've done where we're like, we're gonna let Nikki listen to it, but after we got it together, and then
Yeah.
and then she can tell us.
I don't feel like crying today.
Yes,
Bro, I
like
tell you.
afterwards, we gotta get our life together first before. And I live with this woman, okay? What? But that's because I know other sides of her where it's like you can't be the same person. This can't be the same person. Like one of the smartest and the craziest people I know.
Those
Like
are the ones you need in your corner. Like, that's it.
That's just how it happens.
That's it.
It's a But she always just likes to say it's a lot of people living in here.
in there, in the brain, in her head.
The United States of Nikki.
Possibly. You gotta, that's life. You gotta be what you need to be when you need to be it.
I wonder if all these personalities came about because of the phone sex job.
No, I can tell you where it came from.
The personalities?
No, because one, I'm an only child and I'm a military brat. So we were constantly moving around.
Oh, so you had to be like your own friend.
No, it's not that. I think I just learned how to read people really early.
Mm.
And even my mom would be like, "You you you need to use your powers of manipulation for good."
Yes, manipulative than a motherfucker, boy. I tell you, you'll be doing shit that
That's a
you didn't
Virgo
even.
thing.
You were like, I don't want to do this. Next thing you know, you doing it, and you're like, how the fuck did I get in? Just like how I'm living here right now. I swore up and down forever. I was like, I'll never leave Miami. I'm never leaving Miami. And now look at me. I'm fucking Mickey Mouse is my fucking neighbor at this point. I'm like, well, how the fuck did I get here?
It's all your choice.
Manipulative to the motherfucker.
If you were making your own choices, that doesn't make any sense. You're making your own choices.
What?
Yes.
Did she tell you that what? She told one of her friends that I hoodwinked her into going to college.
Yeah. Everybody knows that.
So in order to go to college, you have to put in your application. You have to pay. You have to go to class for 4 years, for years and years on your own, pass these classes. So how did I force that upon you?
This is how. The day I ended up taking these classes to find out that I do not know math, unless we counting money, is the day she promised me. We took the day off of work to play hooky to go shopping at the mall. Okay? So I was like, hell yeah, I'm going shopping with my new chick at the mall and we're going to have a good time. And she's like, oh, why don't we just stop? Because she had just started her classes. She's like, why don't we just stop by the school so you can fill out the application? Blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, no problem. We stopped to fill out the application. Turns out now I need to take some fucking tests that I can only take like that day.
But do you see all of the obstacles where she could have said no?
But I'm already there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already there.
Exactly. You can't whine and say, but I'm here. Nah. You said you wanted to go to school. You said that this is what you wanted to do. So if I'm helping you,
no, you said I should go to school.
I'm everybody's. Well, for people that I like, I'm your biggest supporter. If I don't care for you, I might make. You can go drink bleach, but I love you.
Anyway, I did it. And I was cum laude, bitch.
Is that when you had the face?
Yes. Oh my god. Okay, embarrassing. And we still got those fucking faces. Those faces are up all over our house.
I love those faces.
If you open my garage door, there's a fucking face right there. You see me staring. I know that the people that drive by are probably like, "What the fuck is that?" The big ass face of me. And then in the bathroom, this face that was in the room, it used to be there as soon as you open the door. It was me staring at you. But now that face has gotten moved around. Now that face is in the closet. But I remember when this was happening, right? The person's next to me, because her, my mom, my sister, Meech, they were so fucking loud. The person, we're way on the other side of y'all. And that person was like, is that your face? I'm like, yes, that is my face. I can't believe it. Damn, yo, y'all crazy.
We were, though.
You said what?
I said you knew where we were.
Yeah,
I had buckled it in and everything. In the seat next to me.
You're lucky I wasn't there, because I would have been ratchet as shit, yelling.
Yeah.
Yo, the best time was the beach party afterwards. That was after, yeah, it had to have been, because I was sunburnt than a motherfucker, yo.
Her mom is that motherfucker.
Yo, my mom.
My
mom drank a bottle of wine to the face.
Yes.
You had her drinking white Hennessy and
Yeah.
Prosecco.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She did a strip tease on the way.
She didn't do a strip tease. This is what, and she's sitting there. She's like, I want to get in the water.
That was
So she gets up. She gets up and she pulls her like cover off and flings this shit.
Like, Da-da-da-da.
And she starts beating into the water, and we're like, and I'm like, yo, my mom is old as shit. She can't be walking to the fucking
Yes, she
water
can.
by
I'm
herself.
gonna be that mom.
Oh my god.
I'm that mom.
Yo, oh mom, yo, that lady's crazy. She was like, I'm going to the. We were all sunburned like a motherfucker.
Let me get this weight off me. Ain't nobody ready for me to be a grandma.
Nobody's ready for you to be a
Nobody's
grandma.
ready for this. You can't hold me.
Yeah, my mom's crazy.
I can see that. I'm gonna be that mom. I'm gonna be the crazy mom.
We trying to make my mom do a podcast.
Yeah. I think it would be dope, man.
I think so too, because there's a lot of people out there interested in that stuff. She can do just readings, just
She could do
like
that.
general readings, right? Like,
But I think her and Buddy,
buddy.
you've made me have a lot of alcohol. But just to have them both like high together having a conversation is pure comedy.
Who? Who together?
Your mom
And Bob?
yeah.
Oh, that's so precious.
Yeah. Bob the Builder.
Or just a podcast of your mom telling the stories of her freaking life.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be so good. Her podcast could be
Yo,
called
when we went to
Cruising.
California and we were with my sister's godmother, and she was telling me the story about my mom and my dad and like how they met, did all nasty things all over the ship, and then broke up, and then got back together. It was crazy. I was like, what? I was like, I've never heard this before in my life, and I've known these people my whole life.
When we were there and she told the story of how your mom was pulling these dudes.
Oh yeah, my mom used to be pulling them. I mean, my dad told us that. My dad used to, I had to beat these two dudes up because they want to fuck my. I'm like, yeah, 'cause my mom was smoking weed, she was drinking, you know what I'm saying? Like, Lord knows what I was fucking doing.
Fine-ass mommy.
I don't. She's my mom. I'm not looking at her like that, but she's a good time, I guess.
Oh, my chest hurts. I can't. She's a good time.
I don't think anybody who's ever met my mom doesn't, at least that I know, doesn't like
She's
my mom.
individual. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when they meet me, they're like, when they meet her, they're like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I get it. I see why you so crazy, motherfucker.
Yeah. It makes you get her. Like, yeah, both of our
She
moms are
sounds
from
like
Ohio.
the lady.
Isn't that weird?
Oh, your
Yeah,
mom from Ohio too, Nikki?
Is she
Huh?
I didn't know
triple
that.
Yeah, both of our moms are from Ohio. Like,
Oh, wow.
I think with us, there's like little
Threads. Yeah.
threads of
Because we
things
worked
that are
at the same company at the same time, but never knew each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just a lot.
And we knew the same people.
We knew the same people, so we had to be passing each other because we worked
Yeah.
there at the same time.
Yeah.
And just never knew. So it's like, for us, it's like when you think about things, we were always kind of like this, but never meeting until this chick right here
had a birthday. The birthday party.
Yes.
Well, the birthday.
The 6 month to a year long birthday party celebration. That was crazy.
It always happens like that.
Right. It's a small world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
It's crazy.
That's dope, though.
Yeah.
And it's weird.
It is, especially after we found out we knew like the same people. Like that's what really made it weird, that we hung out with the same people at that job.
The trauma I had to go through for you two to meet.
What?
Because that was the Candyland crew.
Yes.
That's how I met Blaze.
Megamind and everybody.
Yeah, Megamind,
man.
Skittles, Reese's.
If only I could if only we could
Honeybee.
take pictures and show these people that a lot of these people fit their names, like Megamind.
Yeah,
That's
well,
because
that
you
wasn't
gave
her
her that
name.
name. That's not the name
That's
she
not the
chooses. That's
Her
the
name
name
was
you
Hershey.
gave her.
Hershey Kisses.
Oh, I don't know. I saw her And then, oh, remember I sent you the picture of her and
Yes.
Megamind next
And
to
I
each
couldn't
other?
stop laughing.
She's Megamind, and I don't know. It was funny.
That was traumatic for me. that that whole like I when I think about my time in South Florida in Miami, I totally block out. I think that was like a good year or
Mm.
more of my life.
What, that you hung out with them?
Yeah.
The old chocolate people crew.
The
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
chocolate people.
My savior used to be Nikki. I used to be like and she didn't go out that much.
I'm
No.
sorry, you said you're senior?
My savior.
Oh. I
And
didn't
she
know she
didn't
was
go
talking
out
about
that
you.
much.
I thought she was talking about somebody else.
Yeah, and then that's when I was hanging out with
Daddy?
Grimace.
Woo.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Let me tell you something.
Oh.
And that little funky tooth thing, like in the picture, the image just came so clearly to me.
Yeah.
As soon as you said
Listen,
Grimace.
listen, Grimace. Is Grimace who I think Grimace is? Grimace is the
Yes,
one who
you
Daddy
remember
yelled at me
Yeah,
for.
and then buttons.
For getting in her car?
Buttons used to be
Yes.
like,
Oh
Yeah.
my God. That's all I'll always remember is the time. And then that was the time when that person was like, "That's my son. That's my son."
Oh yeah,
Remember when we went to the
yeah.
thing?
My son ate.
That's my son. Oh my God, that was a top. Why did everybody want to claim me? I don't know. Everybody was trying to claim me as their goddamn child.
Oh
And
god.
this, like, Daddy was like, "Why would you get in a car with her?" I'm like,
Cause I'm
because
grown.
she said she was going to IHOP. We were all going to IHOP.
Unless you know you can be kidnapped for food.
No,
Going to
we were
IHOP.
all
We were all-
going.
Oh
I don't know.
god.
I just used
Good
to
time.
read.
Did you
Grimace
go?
all the
Did you
time.
go to the IHOP? Yeah, you had to. If you know about that's my son
My
8,
son
right?
ate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was with Jay and the other ones.
Oh,
And
the
that was
wild bunch. Yes.
yeah, that was old girl's girlfriend, the one with the beard.
I'm sorry.
Now look how both of them. I was like, wait, what?
The chick with the beard. You know her. You know her.
What?
Yeah.
The chick with the
was-
beard?
Yeah, they both have matching beards. You don't remember?
Nah.
Did
Not
I-
that's not my son 8 you talking about, right?
Yeah, my son eight's girl. I don't. Maybe you didn't realize that was her girl.
Or maybe I wasn't looking at the beard. I was a little
Yeah.
wasted at that point in
Yeah.
time.
But she
And-
always comes out when we used to go to the. I think she used to come. when we
You
go
think
to the strip
I
clubs and
wasn't
stuff.
looking at these people like
Oh,
that?
I don't know.
I was like, where's the hose?
Well, I know that Nikki was. She was scared and concerned every time she came out with them.
Who?
Jay's crew.
Oh man. Damn, as soon as you
It's-
said Grimace, every time I hear that name, that's all I think about was that night. It's like, why would you get in a car with her?
I remember I was just like, why are you wearing a cardigan and why are all of your buttons stretched?
In South Florida, you're wearing a cardigan.
Yeah, she used to dress like she was in Atlanta.
Grimace
Yes.
was a lot.
Yeah.
Which makes me laugh because remember that one time when we were in Atlanta and I dressed like I was in South Florida? We went somewhere. 'Cause I still can't believe it. I was like, I'm walking into it. They said a pool party, so I dressed like it was a fucking Miami pool party
Yeah.
with swim trunks and shorts and flip flops. We walk. It's a club. I was like, yo. I was like, well, got my toes out. I guess we just gonna do this.
Wait, where did they do it at?
They did it at like some rooftop. No, yeah, it wasn't a rooftop because there was an outside part, and we didn't go outside. And somebody I knew was there, and that's what the problem was.
All I
Yeah.
know is this. Don't
It was
ever
in
let
Midtown.
those two go out alone together.
Within walking distance of the hotel. That's the thing. Because that was the problem, was this one got us like the perfect spot to go to this one party. So we literally could walk there without even breaking a sweat. And of course, here I am with my flip-flops and my fucking swim trunks and shit, like Miami style. And we walk in and we're drinking and we were drinking at the hotel. And we started drinking there excessively because we were like, bitch, we don't have to worry about getting in an Uber. We don't have to worry about driving. We are within walking distance of the club, like I mean, of the hotel. Literally, we're tossing them back, tossing them back, tossing them back, waiting for this shit to get popping. Keep tossing them back. Then next thing you know, I bump into some people I know. Like they're like, "Oh, what's up?" So then they're like, "Hey, come over to the little." We had our little VIP bands. They were in VIP. They were smoking. They were like, "Here." We start smoking. That's the last thing I fucking remember.
I don't remember.
I
My bad.
was like, "Yo," and then all I could think was, I have to get back. Like we left. It must have closed. It must have ended, and we walked back. And I was so wasted.
I don't think it ended because your homegirl was supposed to be judging like a contest.
I remember seeing the midget stripper.
Oh, I don't
Yes,
remember
because
that.
this is when we were up on the top balcony, and like Angel McCautry had walked in with. That's when she was still with Brandy, I think is her name, and
The elephant levels of your memory. Go ahead.
and so they had like walked in like over here, and we're standing here facing the thing, and they had midget strippers, and I remember thinking that this one was gonna be so mad because she loved midget strippers. And I was like, damn, she's gonna be mad she missed the midget strippers.
Or little people strippers.
Midget strippers.
I tried.
So that was that. And then I remember going outside thinking, well, I already have on flip flops. So we might as well go outside. I don't know why Beach didn't tell me not to wear these fucking flip flops, but I only had as many outfits like per time. You
Yeah,
know what
one
I'm
person
saying?
from Miami and another person from New York going to parties in Atlanta.
Yeah, I probably had 10.
But yeah, man. And then I remember getting back to going back up the elevator with Meech and being like, all right, yo, I'm gonna come get you or whatever. We gotta link up when we were going to go see Chris Brown.
It felt like
Yeah.
5 minutes passed.
And I was like, I remember being in this hotel room. This one was mad stink because I walked in fucked up. I probably smelled like every bottle of alcohol in the planet.
No, I don't think fucked up describes how you walked into that room.
And she was mad because she had to stay in the room and do homework or some shit. And here I come walking in like,
you can't do homework on Pride weekend.
No, they were something like Meat was throwing up bile. Like they were so done.
yeah.
They were so done.
But you don't even know about Meech because Meech was downstairs in her room and I was in the room with you, and I remember like I need to get in the shower. And I remember sitting on the toilet and I was like, I cannot be the reason Sasha does not get to see Chris Brown. I can't be the reason. So I was like, I have to get my life together. So I'm throwing up in the fucking shower, and I'm like, come on, yo. Like, control yourself. I'm trying to iron my clothes. She's like, giving me all kinds of attitude, and I'm like trying to iron my clothes and shit. And then I go down to get Meech,
I
and
would have
Meech was
made
like,
it if y'all would have left a little later.
Oh, honey. If we would have known each other 20 years ago.
She was, yes. I go down. She's like, yeah, I'm ready. I go down to her room, and before we could walk out the door, she goes in the bath. She's like, hold on 1 second. And she goes in the bathroom, and she's like,
oh, baby.
And I'm like, bruh,
I had to
I
get
don't
it
think
out.
you're going to make it, bruh.
I would have been good to go.
She looks at me like, I don't think I'm going to make
But
it.
you know, Nikki likes to leave early.
Early as fuck.
Well, if we would have known each other like 20 years ago, we could have met Chris Brown and ate chicken wings with him in Queens.
See?
Yeah.
We did get to see Tiana Taylor when she was pregnant with Junie, though.
Damn.
Yes.
I need her body. Somehow.
Oh my God,
Somehow.
Tiana Taylor BJ before June. I know that sounded so wrong, but it was before June.
It was actually during Junie because she was pregnant.
She was
but
pregnant with Junie. Yeah, that's fine.
that was a trip for that ass, boy. Boy, I tell you. And that was when coming back. Remember that was coming back, and it was we ended up having to get off my mom's exit to go to the restaurant to get something to eat because it was an accident and we were stuck. You were driving back from Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that.
I remember driving up and to talking back to the cop, and we are
But
freaking
that was
out.
Orlando. We were going to Orlando. Yeah, that's when we were
Was it
going to
Orlando? I
Orlando.
thought it
Yeah,
was
that's what I'm like. I think some
Atlanta.
of these trips are starting to.
Because I drove us, well, at least driving, because I drove us halfway there the night before because I was like, we can go to my mom's house. And 'cause my mom was like halfway. So we could drive to my mom's house Friday. And we did. We spent the night at my mom's house. Yeah, with you. We got there mad late. I drove there. And then the next day, because then the next day you drove us to the hotel. Then I drove you to your cousin's house, hung out with you at your cousin's house, and then drove back to the hotel and
That's
linked
what I'm
up
telling
with.
you, elephant memory. I couldn't tell you. That's why I'm like, my story goes, we were in Atlanta. See, I didn't nothing about the drive.
Because I think you drove from my mom's house.
I remember I got a ticket going to Atlanta.
Oh, maybe.
That $300
Then maybe it was
ticket.
going.
Yeah,
then
see,
maybe
that's
that's
what I
the
was
part.
saying.
Yeah, maybe it was from my mom's house to
Yeah.
Atlanta.
We got hit by the plane.
She was talking back to the cop.
Yeah,
That did happen. That was another trip though.
but that was Orlando. That was remember everybody was getting off and like it was our exit and everybody was getting off driving
And
the
then he had to
shoulder.
pull over the
And
black
we
people.
decided to do it. Yeah, that's what she told the cop too. Like, what's the difference between us and them? And we're like, bitch, we got weed in the car. Be talking spicy to this officer right now.
I'm on principles right now, okay?
She's like, why? Look at them. Look at you ain't pulling them over. You ain't pulling them over. So he was like, okay, you can just go. I was like, oh Lord, we got weed in here. You better drive us crazy.
I forgot about that.
And so we went on this little tour, and part of the tour is supposed to take you on this trolley that takes you up to the top of Stone Mountain.
We could not make it.
We got on the trolley. I was trying to, be yes. And then some crazy people on the trolley were like, "Oh my God, we're gonna die! Oh my God!" And I was like, "Yes, we are. I gotta go. I'm off." I was off.
And I don't think it didn't help that there were a bunch of obese people on the trolley with us. That's horrible to say, but it was. It was like a little camp of them. Like,
yeah, I just was like,
just
I'm
a
not
lot
going to do
happening
this.
at one time. But I've never seen anybody shake and get pale like they're going to shit their pants over
height. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think the worst time though was when I did the little skywalk thing.
That was definitely the worst.
Yeah, I don't think I could have done it either. I don't put myself in situations where
I can man-made death.
I have to
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
I do.
Edie's like YOLO. I'm just like, what? It's going up Stone Mountain. It's like this little. It's like when you're going skiing. You know, when you're skiing on the little thing. That's what it was. It's just like a little chair, like a little.
Listen, this is the same person who wanted me to do the little chair thing in Disney, right? When they first opened it. And the next thing you know, left and right, they're like, oh, it broke down. Oh, people got stuck. Oh, this, oh, that. And I'm like, nah. And then this is also the same person who wanted me to go ziplining until we saw Tiger King when Buddy was like, I didn't lose my legs for the tiger. I lost my legs for the zip line.
We have
And
to
I was
zip
like,
park right up the street. I'm all for it.
nah.
Let me tell you something. The look on her face when Buddy said that he lost his legs from ziplining, immediately she was just like, oh, I told you. This is on zipline. This could happen to me. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen to you.
Pretty sure he was doing something stupid while he was up there.
Okay, or possibly on a zipline that Joe Exotic probably created himself.
Just
You know what I mean?
He said this was pre-Joe Exotic days.
Listen, I'm pretty sure there was no safety first involved in it. Okay, you would have been fine. Yes.
That sound means it's time for the segment we like to call Too Many Peas in the Pod. This is the part of the show where we like to share and answer some of the questions we found perusing through the internet. This week, the question is, do you eat pussy with your eyes open or closed?
Both.
I was about to say, I don't think there's a wrong way to answer this question.
Right.
As long as the answer is yes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like I'm trying to think back on the times, like what was going on with my eye situation. Like, I don't know, I guess it depends on on the woman that I'm with, like
Right.
the connection. Like, do we have that kind of connection where I'm like looking up at looking up at you, like, or am I just like I'm just trying to get this over with?
So eyes closed going in.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's both. I think that's a good safe answer.
I mean,
Depends.
that's not
If
something
my head
that
is getting squished by
I'm just like
the
that's not something
legs.
that I'm thinking about. Like,
Right.
when it's
Should I
going down.
open them or should I close them?
Yeah, like what's the right way to approach this? Like, I guess. I mean, like the memes are funny. Like, I don't know if you've seen like the sniper memes. You know what I'm saying? Like, they laying on their stomach like this and eating the pussy like that.
Oh,
Then,
yeah.
yeah. But I don't know. Are their eyes open or closed? I think it's like one is open and one is closed. So maybe that's how it needs to be.
I don't think there's any right or wrong way.
No, definitely no right or wrong way.
With your eyes, anyway. With your tongue, that's a different story.
And it also depends on the woman too, because what if she's a squirter, right? If you want your eyes closed for that,
you be blind as shit.
Yo, for real. Like, what is in my eye? Imagine going to the doctor with that in your eye, bro. Like, that's a no.
Well, what happened was,
yeah. I say what had happened, doc, is no. How do you even explain getting something like that in your eye?
Right. I would have just been like, I don't know.
I slipped.
Yeah. I walked into a cabinet.
Oh shit. Oh man. And on that note, we're going to end the show here. Find us on IG and Twitter at 2 Studs in a Pod. For a behind the scenes look at life beyond the pod, follow Meech on IG at the Homie Meech and on Twitter at Homie Meech. And myself at its.me.blaze on IG and it's me blaze2 on Twitter. You can always hit us up on our email with any questions or comments at 2studsinapod@gmail.com. That's TWO studsinapod@gmail.com. 2 Studs in a Pod is streaming on major podcast platforms including Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Radio Public, and Overcast. Gratitude is always the attitude, so we want to say thank you for lending us your ear.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye-bye.